Alright guys, welcome back to the show. We are going to install a Viega Manabloc water manifold today. I'm going to show you how I do that. I've used these in the last couple houses I've had and I really like them, so I'm just going to show you guys what they are, how they work, and how they get installed. So before that, appreciate all the comments and concerns in our last video with the gas manifold. I'm going to address a couple things. One was the type of Teflon tape that I use, and I was taught to use just regular Teflon tape with pipe dope. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, that's just the way I've done it, and I'm a creature of habit, and I've just continued to do that because I've had success with it. But it would just be just as easy for me to switch over and use the yellow tape, so maybe I should just start doing that. I was taught that the only difference is the thickness of the tape. I'm not sure if that is true or not, and I learned 20 years ago, so obviously a lot of things have probably changed since then. The second thing I want to talk about is the sizing of my gas lines. And being that I'm going to have two gas-fired furnaces, two tankless water heaters, I got two stoves in the house, I'm going to do a 2 PSI regulator for my second stage regulator, and then I will put Maxi-Trol, I think they're 248 line regulators at each appliance. That's my plan anyway. When the gas company comes out, I'll talk to them about it, and hopefully they're alright with that. I don't know why they wouldn't be, and I'll explain all of that once we get to it. Get all those, all those inline regulators set. We'll take you through that and how the whole system kind of works as a whole. So, nonetheless, I'm not an expert, but I told you from the beginning I'm going to take you through how I do stuff, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and we are going to go ahead and jump into this Viega Manabloc installation. Alright, we're going to get this manifold installed. It's called a Manabloc. It's a Viega Manabloc. I got two of these, one for downstairs and one for upstairs. It's pretty cool. It comes with a bunch of pre-made stickers. And this is for a home run system. So you can turn each of these off individually. So I could turn the hot side of the kitchen sink off if I wanted, or the cold side of the washing machine. So if you had a leak, you can just isolate it. But these are just really nice, and we're going to go ahead and get it installed. So I got all these on here, crimped on. These aren't snug yet. I got to go back and do that. But now what I'm going to do is I cut some 2x4s to slide in behind them so I can clamp them onto something so they're nice and sturdy, so they're not moving around and putting any pressure on fittings. So we're going to go ahead and do that and get these all secured and tightened on. Alright, so you can see the end of this fitting has a little rubber O-ring on it. So when you put that in there, that O-ring is what seals it. And then these lock nuts, you just want to do basically as tight as you can get them by your hand. So what I do is I just get them snug, and then I just take my channel locks and just a slight turn to tighten them up. So I get all my clamps in place first. I'll push that in there. Slide that in there. Tighten it. And that's all you got to do is just slightly tighten it. If you over tighten these, you'll end up breaking these. I've never broken one, but it says in the directions, you know, not to over tighten or crank on them because you can break them. But like I said, as long as you're careful, you'll have good luck with these. So you got 2 more to do, and then those all will be hooked up. Alright, so that's all hooked up. Now I just got to run my hot and cold in there, so my cold will come down from the top into this fitting, and then my hot will come out of the water heater obviously and come over, drop into the hot side. They do have an extra cold inlet or outlet, so you can come in and go out the other side, but I bought a cap and just put a cap on one end because I don't need it. So you can go ahead and get the rest of the supports on those 2 rows, and then this will all be done, and then I can work on getting that main line up and over to where I need it. Alright guys, now we got all this done, we're going to go ahead and extend our main water line, which is a 1-inch line. Comes in at 1 1/4 right there, and then goes down to 1 inch. There will eventually be a water filtration system here that'll be 1 inch. So what I'm going to use is this press fitting. It's a 1-inch press fitting, that way I can easily get it off when it's time to put this in here. So I'm just going to extend this line over to here, and I have to be, I can't be anywhere 36 inches in front of this, so I got that marked right here. So I'm just going to 90 up. I'm going to go over, down, and then I'm outside of the 30 inches that I have this way. So you have 30 inches in front of, or side to side on an electrical panel, and 36 inches out that you can't have anything running through. So I'm going to get that done. I'm going to go ahead and run my water line up, over, and down, and then I can pipe it into my water heater and my manifold, and then extend it where it's going to go upstairs to the utility room. So 1-inch water line extended. And I try to not to do any elbows, because anytime you have a sharp elbow, that can slow the flow down. So I just try to do nice curves. Teed off there to 3/4 to feed water heater. Kept going, teed off there to feed the manifold, and then took that up there to the utility room upstairs, which will feed the water heater and manifold up there. So I just got to get a couple fittings to hook this up. I got it all hooked up. Shut off there, goes in, hot comes out, comes over and feeds the hot side of this tank. I'm missing one shut off for the hot side, so I'll get one and I'll probably put it in probably right here. That way I can isolate this if I need to. But, so the water, I opened this water valve here, and so water can feed through here, up and around, and it comes down and it'll stop right there, and then it stops right there, and it stops right there. So now we're going to charge this cold side of the manifold. And then we're going to leave that pressurized for the next 15-20 minutes to see if I got any leaks. But I'm going to go ahead and turn on, let's see, I don't have it labeled yet on the actual manifold, but I'm going to turn on this south canning kitchen. That's the faucet, cold side of the faucet on the south side of the canning kitchen. Let's see if we can get some water over there at the sink. I'm just going to slowly turn this on. Now I'm going to go to my sink and let the air out. And now, if this works, I can get water in here instead of out with the hose. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Not bad, not bad. Alright, so you can see, guys, the reason I put these clamps right here is to keep the pressure off of these fittings right here. And you just get a really good solid installation if you do that. And if you're wondering why I put these 2x4s behind it, just the way it works out, these are actually about 1 inch thick. I plane them down, so these pipes come, these PEX tubings come straight off, and then they're clamped right there. And then these down here are full 2x4s, because where they come out of the floor, they set off about a 2x4 length. And from the last ones I put in, I just found that this works really nice, and it just makes for a nice clean installation. So I find a lot of benefits in this type of system. Obviously, if you're doing remodeling, it makes a lot different unless you're stripping everything right down to the studs. The last house I did in Illinois, I did this, but I ripped that entire inside of the house out and started over from scratch. And these things are just really nice. What's great about them is that they're a home run system, so you only have a crimp here and then a crimp wherever it hooks up to your sink or your toilet or whatever else it is. There's a couple spots where you end up with joints behind the wall, and that's at your washer and dryer hookups and usually your refrigerator supply hookup. I have all the hot on the left. When I was running, all this goes underneath the concrete. It's all insulated and ran under the concrete, and all the blues are on the right. And I have a video of how I did that. If you guys are interested, I'll leave a link to that on the screen right now, and you can check it out. But this is the end result, and it makes for a super nice, easy to follow installation. So I appreciate you guys watching. We're going to have at least one more video this week, and that will have a giveaway on it, so make sure you stay tuned at the end of the week.